All right, thanks so much, Cam. Up next, we got Satish Bala, the CEO of Schoolio.
Thank you very much. My name is Satish Bala, and I want to tell you guys a little story before we get into the deck. Many immigrants leave where they're from for a better life, and the families come along with them. Unfortunately, in my situation, we left Singapore, a really good life, because I failed a test at 14. Now, if you know anything about Singapore, testing is really important, and the test you take at 14 is super important. That's when they decide, are you a blue collar, white collar, and that's really your path for the rest of your life. That moment took many years to build up. I was always a poor learner. I was full of educational abuse most of my life. But that moment was so shameful that we left the country in 1989 and come all the way to Canada. That kid in 1989 said to myself, one day if I could do something about this broken model, I'm going to try to do something about it. And in 2019, I got my break. My co-founder, Lindsay, and I started the company called Schoolio. And for any of you that have kids, public school works, but it doesn't work for everybody. And neurodivergent students are the first ones to get pushed out. Homeschooling is a growing trend. And so we wanted to help those families with the right toolkit to be able to do it at home. So what is the product? It's a simple 3-step click to get into a system where, for the first time, Canadian curriculum, provincially aligned math, language, science, and social studies is available at a subscription model. We also have US curriculum for all of our US parents. On top of the core curriculum, we also have hundreds of electives, and we have a whole category called Future Readiness, where we start teaching kids by grade 5 and 6 financial literacy, SEL, entrepreneurship, and many other things. So when we looked at this model, we said, we know we can score all of the academic stuff, but how do we understand a student? Like I was misunderstood of who we are. What do we like to learn? How do we learn? What's the emotion behind learning? So since launching in 2020, we've been tracking a ton of data, from academic scores to emotional check-ins every single day when the child logs in, to what are the things that they're interested in and they complete, what are the things they're not interested in. And so all of this data have been generating, not only for Canadian students, we're in every province, we're also in 42 states in the US. We're also in 6 other countries with their own regional requirements for education. So we're sitting on this beautiful pile of data after 5 years. And so when I was asked to come up here and imagine what we can do with Google and the team here and the amazing folks, we thought, well, the thing that we really care about is how do we bring imagination into learning? How do we bring critical thinking? How do we bring creativity? And some of the examples we saw and some of the tools today was fantastic. Imagine now the child in Pakistan who's planning to come to Canada learning fractions, but have never seen or heard of a pizza before. We can programmatically change it into a roti. They can imagine that. Basketball becomes cricket, creates familiarity. Imagine the kid that's going to be doing a long format novel study review, but then at the end they can prompt it to make it a movie. They can make it an image. They can make it an audio file. Imagine now turning math programs into musical beats that can be published into a marketplace. There's a next Dr. Dre in our ecosystem somewhere. These are the tools that we imagined might one day be possible, and we are today sitting at the edge of something that is a reality. We've been experimenting with it in the small startup world that we live in. Thankfully, we raised a little bit of money to get this far, but hopefully somebody in here loves the mission we're on to democratize access to education and want to fund us a little bit. More importantly, we're looking to build out an AI-first team led by an AI-first thinking CTO. I don't know how we're going to afford you yet, but we certainly have lots of pizzas and beer to sort of start this conversation. But we believe with these set of tools, with the kids that are fundamentally misunderstood, who now are thriving, what success looks for us is when the mom messages us and says, my daughter actually wants to learn now. We're not fighting at the kitchen table. Or the child that was pulled out of school because they didn't have confidence is ready to go back into grade 9. Or the student that's figured out that I really love dolphins. Nobody asked me about it. Today I can nerd out in all of the dolphin content within Schoolio. And so if this is the thing that really gets you excited about technology changing lives, if you think you have the CTO chops to daydream of blueprints and tech that we haven't even seen built yet, but I know we can build together, please come talk to Lindsay and I after this. We're on a very important mission. It's profitable. We think we could be unicorn. Somebody mentioned it. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Satish.